Alrighty. I reset everything. Hopefully we get back to business on here. All right, I reset everything. Let's see if I got going on here. Apparently I was overloading the encoding function on there, which meant, I don't know what that means, but I've never sort of streamed and taped at the same time. So maybe that's causing a little bit of encoding. I know Reese did warn me that I might have to put more RAM on the computer in order to do the stream and the recording at the same time, and he probably is right. And I went almost an hour there. I've gone pretty close to an hour without any trouble. However, it looks like we stretched the system a little bit. It's got a warning right there. It says, consider turning down video settings or using a faster encoding preset. I don't know how to do that. Reese will have to come in there. So in the meantime, let's talk about the cars that I got going on there. That is the Mercedes-Benz that I had. There's the Mercedes-Benz I had. And what you do here is if you want to buy during the Stream Store section, simply type in the number 107. Type in the number 107 and you can pick that up. It's $2. All the regular shipping rules and everything else is kind of the same, but it is $2. Just type in the number 107. And that's all you have to do there. All right, so I'll take that one down. We'll start another one up here. We'll start up another one. Here's another one. What's going on here? There's another one coming up. And this one here is pretty interesting. This is another Japanese historic. Now, earlier in the show, we had a Japanese historic up, and we were talking about Japanese historic cars. And, of course, the JH cars are pretty famous. I mean, I just try to buy a Japanese historic one, and some of those cars are worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So I always tell people, if you get a chance to buy a Japanese historic, do so. There's been 3 series of this. Series 1, Series 2, and Series 3. 3 is the most recent one that came out a couple years ago. And this, of course, is the Mazda Cosmo. All right, this is the Mazda Cosmo. Which is also kind of cool. I didn't actually realize Mazda's had cars that look like this. Of course, and I like the air vents on the side. Now, if you pay attention to this car, it's got some pretty cool features on it. For example, the air vents on the side, the cooling system there, and the rims are fabulous. The rims are fabulous. They're nice and deep, right? The rubber tires on this. The rims are really fabulous. Can you see that? See how deep those rims are? All right, thank you very much, Hocus. There you see how deep those rims are. Check it out. I think I'm still freezing up here for a second. There, I may have to, it's my first time doing it. It's my first time doing it, so I'm recording and streaming at the same time. And I wanted to get your audience. That's why I wanted to do it at the same time. I probably should have just recorded and played it out later. But I am overloading the system by doing the 2 together, all right? So that there is the I'll try to do it as long as I can. I'll try to do it as long as I can. I'm just because it's new. I've never done this before, recording and streaming at the very same time. So Japanese historic, that's the Monza. That's the Monza car, which is kind of cool. I just got a nice, it's just got a nice little vibe to it there. I do like it a lot. All right, check it out. All right, so looks like I'm frozen again. Instead of trying to do this go further, what I'll do is I will maybe reset. I'll stop on there. Check it out. I'll see I'll go as far as I can. I'll go as far as I can until it's obvious that I can't go any further. So that Monza, rubber tires, Japanese historic. I'm going to put a number on this, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to put a really low price. on that because. First of all, if you ever get a chance to buy a Japanese historic, I want you to buy it. Because these are going up in value all the time, all right? Up in value all the time, okay? If you don't believe me, just go Google Japanese historic 1 and take a look how incredibly valuable those are today. Japanese historic 1 cars are insane. They're absolutely insane. And I believe the Japanese Historics 2 and the Japanese Historics 3 will come out kind of the same, all right? I think it's going to be the same sort of thing. I just make videos, see at the normal time. Yes, I know. They're a good idea, Hocus. I think that's what I'll end up doing because I don't know my system can handle both recording and streaming at the same time. Now, if you're new to the Stream Store, which I am, obviously, because I'm struggling with the equipment here, what we can do is you type in the number into the chat, even if you're watching it overnight. Type the number into the chat, and that's how you do it. Now, this one here on there, I'll show you the long card in a shot in a second, but it's number 108, so trust me, it's number 108, and it's $5. I have a price for $5 on this car, so all you have to do is type in the number 108, and Bob's your uncle. That's all you have to do. Type in the number 108, and for $5 you can pick up this JH3. It's funny because when we first got into Diecast TV, my brother picked up a couple Japanese Historic 1 sets, and of course my brother knew more about the Japanese Historics because he was growing up in the era of the the Datsun 280Z, and of course Fast and Furious and stuff like that. And of course I was kind of older, I was born in 1960, so I was more used to things like the first Japanese Historics the Japanese cars I started seeing were the Honda Civics, right? Those are the Honda Civics, and we used to call them lawnmowers. We used to think they were lawnmowers, and quite frankly, I could almost buy a brand new Honda Civic for the same price as I was able to purchase my Volkswagen Beetle. Used one, my used Volkswagen Beetle. 108, look at that. Christopher Tucker will pick that one up. Christopher Tucker will pick that one up. 108. I'll put your name on that, Christopher, so people watching later will have lost that one. Christopher Tucker got that one. So I actually bought a used Volkswagen instead of a brand new Honda Civic. That's right. I bought a used Volkswagen instead of a brand new Honda Civic. Think about that for a second. Just pause and think for that, because I thought it was a better deal. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it wasn't a better deal. But that's what I did. That's what I did at the time, which I think was fine. There's Christopher Tucker picked this one. Let me get another one up here. That is the Honda. That is the Mazda. The history of the John. I don't know what cars you guys had as Japanese cars. I wasn't sure which cars you guys had as Japanese cars. What was your first Japanese car that you remembered? Mine was, of course, the Honda Civic. Now, here's a couple interesting things here. This is a Johnny Lightning. We're gonna switch over to Johnny. We're gonna switch over to the Johnny Lightnings on there. I'll get another Johnny Lightning here. Let me just put Christopher Tucker's name on this. Christopher Tucker. How you doing, Chris Tucker? I think you were vacationing. We're on work. You were out of town. That's all I know. You were out of town, out of work, I guess. I think it was Christopher Tucker. Anyways, I was following your Facebook. I was stalking you on Facebook. Now, that is the Japanese Historics 1, Japanese Historics 2, and Japanese Historics 3. How many of you guys do have Japanese Historics? Anybody collect the Japanese Historics? If you're watching and you collect them, let me know which ones you have, because I'll tell you the Japanese Historic 1 set's pretty expensive. I don't know, how much is it worth today? If you guys know how much the JH1 set's worth, let me know. Or if you want to sell one, let me know. I know a lot of guys who want to buy that set. Now we're going to move on to something collectible. Now, when I was a kid, one of the best board games around was Monopoly. That's right. One of the best board games that I ever played on was the Monopoly board, all right? So the Monopoly board, we used to spend hours and hours. I think my brother and my sister and the family used to play Monopoly. And I never understood this, but people license cars. I know the picture will come up in a second. I'm just grabbing a Monopoly car for you guys so I can put it up here for you. They used to license cars. Good. That's right. Christopher Tucker says, good. All right. Now, I can't see your chat. I can see your chat, but the people cannot, because I don't have the chat function turned on. I've have it turned off for the time being, because overnight the chat will come in, and of course, if I have the chat, where's the chat going to go? We won't be able to see it. So I've turned the chat function on the broadcast off. Here's the Monopoly car. So this is kind of interesting. How Johnny Lightning licensed the Monopoly game, which I thought to myself, wow, that's interesting. So licensing works like this. Now, I was involved in licensing. We used to license products, and what you do is you go to Vegas. As I drink my morning coffee here, you go to Las Vegas and you go to the companies that have these names and you pay money to them, all right? And of course, the monopoly license, I don't know who owns the monopoly license, but I don't know who owns it, but it's probably, what is it? It's probably on here somewhere. So this car here, which is interesting, has 2 licenses. Monopoly Chance and Winning Chest. So there are a couple licenses on here. GH1s are through the roof. GH2 sets are 100 plus. Thank you, David Jane. He just commented on that. So you've got a couple licenses on this car, okay? First of all, it's a General Motors. So Johnny Lightning would have to pay General Motors for the use of that image of car. People don't know that. People don't realize that the case. So Johnny Lightning, in order to sell at General Motors, they have to pay a licensing fee to General Motors for that car, right? So you just can't grab a General Motors car, slap your name on it, and trade on their business, all right? You can't do that, all right? The other thing you have to pay here, they're paying double licensing fee here because they're also paying a licensing fee to Monopoly. And actually it gets a little more complicated because I think if you look at the intellectual property here, I think Community Chest, Winning Chance, I think, and I think Monopoly are all registered trademarks. And I believe they would have to have a deal to use all 3 of those trademarks included with this particular car, okay? So that's kind of the licensing part of the car deal, all right? So, which is interesting. So people don't realize, I've often thought how much is the license to have on these cars. I want to find out. I want to go to the Vegas licensing show and actually find out how much it costs to license from General Motors and license the Monopoly game, which I think would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? I think it'd be kind of cool to know that. And Johnny Lightning's paying for both. Now, this is a cool General Motors product. It's like an Escalade or some kind of a Yukon or something on there. And they also have the part there. I noticed the little, when you got these cars, you also got a game piece, which I guess if you were playing Monopoly, you'll be able to use the game piece together with the car, which is kind of interesting. Now, as soon as I switch scenes here, you'll notice that the price of this is $7, and I want you to type the number 109. 109 would be the number you type in, and that you can get for $7 today. There, and the type is 109. All the shipping rules apply. $1 a car for shipping, $3.50 for the day for the box, and that's the kind of the deal on that. And if you do $50 or more in the United States during any one calendar day, then we will give you free shipping. So the shipping rules are the same. The shipping rules are in fact the same. They're simple as that. All right. So and by the way, you can combine these with my show in the afternoon. You can combine it with Dave's show in the evening. They're all combinable. So any 24-hour period, the shipping rules apply. Now this one here is number 109, and it is $7. $7 for this car. If you want to buy this car, just type in the number 109, and as simple as that. Now, I notice I'm freezing up again, so I'm going to wrap it up. That was a nice hour experiment, and I'll try to run this video a little later on, and maybe tomorrow I won't broadcast live at the same time. I'll just record, and then we'll play out that show during the course of the day for you guys to watch.